Kendrick Lamar Duckworth was born on June 17, 1987, in Compton, California. He's one of the most influential voices in contemporary hip-hop. Growing up in a city known for its complexities, Kendrick was exposed to the struggles and triumphs of urban life from an early age.
Kendrick Lamar Duckworth, born June 17, 1987 to a working-class family in Compton, California, one of the most infamously poor and violent cities in the state.
He began his music career as a teenager under the moniker K-Dot, releasing his first mixtape, Youngest Head and in Charge, in 2003. From that mixtape, he was able to impress Anthony Tippett, the head of record label Top Dog Entertainment, signing Lamar to the record. However, it wasn't until 2011 mixtape Section 80 that got significant attention, addressing themes of social justice, addiction, and personal experience. Let me show you more what I mean by this video.
Growing up in Compton and centering the story of the project around the different ways life in Compton can be dark and light at the same time, he has seen the darkest parts of society, and that's what gives him the wisdom to explore these complex issues in his music without it sounding forced or corny. Section 80 is full of moving themes. Kendrick talks about drug addiction, prostitution, gang culture, but none of these issues show up through a theoretical lens. It's all very real and raw and approached through a gritty, first-hand perspective.
He put out 2 more mixtapes as K-Dot, Training Day in 2005, and C4 in 2009, before releasing Overly Dedicated in 2010 as Kendrick Lamar, as we know him today.
A year later, in the fall of 2010, Kendrick would release Overly Dedicated, the project that most people would consider his big break and his first ever appearance on the Billboard charts, when the project peaked at 46 on the Heat Seekers chart.
He also joined fellow Top Dog artists Abe Soul, J-Rock, and Schoolboy Q in a hip-hop collective known as Black Hippie. In 2012, he signed with Dr. Dre's record label Aftermath Entertainment. 2014, his single I took the awards for Best Rap Song and Rap Song Performance. 2015, he released the album To Pimp a Butterfly, with streams of 9.6 million.
Albums. To Pimp a Butterfly is often considered one of the best albums ever made. This is not a day in the life of a curious young man in Compton. This is a story told through metaphors that allude to events and ideas in a cerebral, psychedelic way that requires deep analysis.
In 2016, Lamar had 11 Grammy nominations and won for Best Rap Performance, Rap Song Collaboration, and Rap Album To Pimp a Butterfly. 2017, Lamar released another album titled Damn, which featured the smash hit song Humble, well received by both critics and fans alike.
Damn ended up one of the most commercial albums of the 2010s. It was the first ever non-jazz or classical work to win a Pulitzer Prize for music, and it was the best-selling album of 2017. Where To Pimp a Butterfly was full of anachronistic musical inspirations coming from the history of jazz and soul, Damn was more inspired by the sound of pop, trap, and contemporary R&B.
Damn was the first non-classical album to win a Pulitzer Prize for composition. Now let's talk about a song on the Damn album called DNA. DNA dives deeper into the issue of racial identity and Black people's identity throughout the lines of the song. His lines first say, I got loyalty, I got royalty inside my DNA. I got royalty inside my DNA, which made him very influential of the lyrics that he chose.
There's one lesson I learned from Ice Cube. He said, if your first opening lines don't grab the listener, it ain't. And it has to be a statement. And I don't care if the statement is blunt or held back, they gotta feel it. There's 3 types of themes in that record. It's me recognizing the world around me. It's me recognizing the lifestyle. To coming to grips to knowing who Man was, taking all these different personalities, putting them in the record. So you're gonna hear a different tone. You're gonna hear me breaching out the water like a well, and you're gonna hear that same desire that I had as a kid.
He was able to uplift his communities and showing a deep resilience in facing challenges with growing up Black. This led to a broader exploration of identity and responsibility with representing his community through his music, and also urging action and responsibility within the hip-hop community.
One more I gotta say is DNA. I made that beat, the first half of that beat, and it was just hard. You know what I'm saying? It was just simple and hard. I gave it to Kendrick. He killed it. He did the whole first half of DNA. Then the second half of DNA, he did it a cappella. He was like, bro, I want you to just put 808s around what I'm saying, but just the hardest 808s in your life. I feel like that's the only way you're gonna get the most energy out of the consumer is if the person that you're collaborating with is giving it their all. And you know what I'm saying? And y'all stay locked in. Whether it takes 5 minutes to make this beat or 2 weeks to make this song or 2 years to make this song, it's just like whenever this song is able to be actually done where everybody feels like it's done and feels good about it and put out, I feel like that's the only way the consumers are gonna be like, yo, I feel good about this. Like, you know what I'm saying? This feels good. What were they thinking? They want to know the process of this.
His next lyrics say, I know murder, conviction, burners, boosters, burglars, bailers, dead, redemption, scholars, fathers with no kids, and I wish I was fed forgiveness. Kendrick mentions how black people have been faced with being called criminals or burglars or thieves or murderers, but Kendrick is seeing past what white people constantly call black people for what they think they are. But arguably, they are faced with more traumatic events in their communities than white people. Kendrick mentions fathers dead with children. This line reflects the generational trauma resulting from both imprisonment and violence. Kendrick encourages compassion and understanding for those who are impacted by those similar situations, and also calling for individuals to stand up for what they believe in. Now I'm going to talk about the song Blacker the Berry off the album To Pimp a Butterfly. This song addresses the issues of hardship and internal struggles of African American people. The lyrics say, 6 in the morning, fire in the street, burn, baby burn, you, that's all I want to see, and sometimes I get off watching you die in vain. It's such a shame. They may call me crazy, they may say I suffer from schizophrenia or something, but homie, you made me. Black don't crack. His lyrics explore how Kendrick's childhood was filled of chaos and fires throughout his neighborhood. Let's explore more of what he's talking about in this video.
Do you think if there was like one instance where you really felt your faith, your will be tested?
How far am I really willing to go to get the message across?
Blacker the Berry.
Oh yeah.
Another one of them songs, when you get to the end, you have to rewind. In the first 2 verses, you set us up. There's anger, there's angst. I mean, you giving it to the establishment for how black people are treated in this country and how, you know, stereotyped.
Kendrick claims that people will call him crazy from what he was saying. Talking about his message from the album could be shut down, thinking that he was crazy for what he was saying in the lyrics of the song. The you line in the lyrics, Kendrick is referring to America and how specific time that America had a lot going on culturally and in society when people didn't want to hear opinions. Black don't crack line refers to how black people are stronger than how white people perceive them as. Now let's see what he talks about in these next lines.
I'm the biggest hypocrite in 2015. I'm the biggest hypocrite in 2015. Once I finish this, if you listen, then sure you will agree. Been feeling this way since I was 16. Come to my senses. You never liked this anyway. Bump your friendship, I meant it. I'm African American. I'm African. I'm black as the moon. Heritage of a small village, part of my residence. Came from the bottom of mankind. My hair is nappy, you know that it's big. My nose is rounded wide. You hate me, don't you? You hate my people. Your plan is to terminate my culture.
Kendrick tells us how he feels irrelevant to society and how black people are casted out of being part of society, seemingly making them less than the rest of the people of American society. He also notes how white people think how blacks should be just thrown in jail or prison, and they are not trying to understand them as people and thinking that they are just slaves in their minds of how they are viewed. Kendrick has shown activism in both DNA and Blacker the Berry by highlighting racism and celebrating black culture from his excellent artistry of his songs.
Kendrick Lamar is a true artist, an artist who says true things. Maybe that sounds simple, but we live in a world where truth is far from encouraged in the art economy. You can fake your backstory, you can fake your culture, and fake your personality, and you can be perfectly successful with that made-up persona, but you can only go so far with that. In order to get where Kendrick is today and make the music he's made, it takes a level of self-awareness and introspection that most people never reach. And at the same time, he creates deep worlds full of concepts and characters, and it makes every single one of his albums a masterpiece in its own unique way. Whether it's the musical depth and poetic format of To Pimp a Butterfly, or the massive commercial impact and themes of personal struggle on Damn, or Kendrick has created a world of music just as imaginative, just as meaningful and timeless as any other great work of storytelling.